So you want to list your house, you've met with the agent, and they left you a list of things to do. Well, I've got the person for you.
Welcome to Community Real Estate Roots, Agents Building Relationships, where we explore the heart of real estate through meaningful connections. Join Alicia, Deidre, and Lisa as they guide you through stories behind every sold sign and dive into how agents nurture communities, one home and one relationship at a time.
Well, we are here today, and I'm so excited to have Kent with us with his business called Homestretch, because one of the most stressful things for a seller after we've spent the afternoon with them to help them get their property ready to market, and there's a laundry list of cosmetic stuff that needs to be done. It's overwhelming because then they have a look on their face like, okay, now what do I do? Right. So we're going to let Kent take it and tell us about his business and how he's going to help our sellers.
Awesome. Thank you, and appreciate you guys giving me an opportunity to talk a little bit about Homestretch right here in Alabama. Easiest way to put it is, Lisa, we make life transitions easier. Okay, that's what our goal is, and we're doing that by providing a lot of cosmetic type services to your clients. We partner with real estate agents, and we help their clients get their homes ready to sell. So what do? We do everything from clear outs of landscaping, clear outs of the actual house itself, depending on the situation. We have a contract with a national supplier of paint and flooring, so we work directly with them, and we bring in our own painters. We'll do painting the house, we'll update the floors, we'll do everything we can, right down to power washing the driveway and the actual house, to doing a clean out when we're all done. So our goal is for you to have that house looking in the best shape possible, as updated as possible, as quickly as possible. And we do that in a variety of different ways, which I'd love to talk about.
That is great. I know.
That's a lot.
One person,
you've already,
and we get all that.
you've
Are
already,
we done?
we've already dropped the mic.
Cut the mic, so. If I could. Okay,
yeah, keep going.
Yes.
My background is more on the manufacturing and operations side, and my wife and I have moved. We've moved to multiple states. So our kids thought we were in witness protection at some point, which was interesting. But at the end of the day, we've actually bought over 15 homes ourselves personally in multiple states, and variety of different circumstances as to, we would look at a home and say, okay, we don't have the time to update that house, or we're going to go ahead and buy it. We'll make the investment. We'll do the updates. And I know you guys know this better than I do, that everyone has a different situation.
Yes.
But so many times, when you go into a house, you see nothing has been taken care of. Quite frankly, even to cleaning the house.
Right.
And so, or there was a pet, and so there's a pet smell. Maybe it's cat, maybe it's a dog. And so, when I learned about Homestretch and what Homestretch was doing across the country, I saw this as a great opportunity to bring this right here to Alabama, because I got it. I immediately said, you know what, this makes sense.
Yes.
We could have used this service so many times as we moved across the country. The second thing I'd like to share with you guys is when my wife was recently having to move her mother out of their home into a senior center. And so it was like, oh, this is no big deal. It's herself and her two sisters. We're going to come in for a few days. We're going to get the house ready to sell, blah, blah, blah. Well, 2 weeks, 3 weeks later,
Yes.
they're still having to deal with things.
Yes.
They all have jobs. They all have things that they have to do and obligations. they couldn't just constantly spend time there helping
No.
get that house ready to sell.
We call it life. You have life.
Exactly. And in fact, I had one real estate agent say to me the other day, you guys are basically my project manager, because I need a project manager sometimes to get these houses ready to sell. And there's a lot of truth in that. But at the end of the day, in my wife's case, we had to get a dumpster delivered to the house and dropped on the driveway. We had to have somebody update the landscaping. We had to have somebody do a clear out of the house. And what are we going to take to the senior center?
Right.
What are we going to leave behind? How are we going to get rid of that? And then when all the furniture was out, it was a very nice house.
Yes.
But the carpet
That couch
needed
had
to be
never
replaced.
been moved.
Exactly. And the flooring needed to be
Right.
updated. Painting needed to happen because there was things on the wall that were taken down.
Right.
So at the end of the day, they were able to do all of that, but it took multiple phone calls, multiple contractors, multiple people in that home who she didn't know, which was very stressful for her.
Well, and you hope you picked the right person.
Exactly. So what we try to do is alleviate all those concerns. And so what we will do is, if you call us and say, hey, Kent, we've got a client that needs their home to be updated so that we can get it listed, we can take pictures. What we do is we come in, and within 24 hours of getting that phone call, our goal is to
It's okay. I do it all the time.
just hit it.
Yeah.
Our goal is to go ahead and meet with your client, and then we will provide them a full estimate of all the different services, very professional estimate. I'll review that with you before we send it to the client, and it will list out all of our services, how much they're going to be by service, and then they can go ahead and say yes or no or whatever that is. And then once they say yes, we're not dealing with anything that requires a permit. So once they say yes, our goal is to be in and out within 7 to 10 days.
Well,
Wow.
I kind of,
So
I really like the idea of you're truly the cosmetic king. That's what comes to mind.
The one-stop shop.
The one stop, because sometimes there's things in a house it's truly all cosmetic, and you not doing anything that you really need a permit. And so it's great to have someone, I think, that can come in and take care of those things, and then they're done. They don't have to be calling people. We give them 2 or 3 people to call. Mm-hmm. We don't give them one.
Which is overwhelming.
It's very overwhelming, and you talk to them, and they probably say similar. So let's just put their name in a hat and pull one, and pull one out. So I'm just going to ask this question, and hopefully it doesn't put you on the spot. I've only known you a few minutes, but I don't think it will.
It's hard to.
So let's say you had a painter come in, and he streaked up the wall. He didn't do a good job. Are you the one that's going to hold him accountable?
Absolutely.
For making sure it's done correctly?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Everything will go through us.
Okay.
No question.
That's what I like about it.
Yeah.
Too.
If not, that's the whole. If I may, that's the whole goal. What we don't want to do is have a situation where you're creating stress with your client
Yes.
because, this painter didn't do it the right way. Now I got to call this painter and I've got to get him to come back. No, that's not on your client. That's not on the homeowner. That's my responsibility. That's our responsibility. He's our painter. He works for us. And we have, just like I'm going to do what you want to do, because my goal, this is one homeowner, but as an agent, you guys represent hundreds of opportunities for us on a yearly basis.
Right.
So my goal is to make sure you're happy, and part of you being happy is that your homeowner is stress-free as much as possible, because they're going. These are life transitions they're going through. It could be death, it could be a divorce, it could be a move across country, it could be to Taiwan. I was listening to that podcast the other day. And
great.
You just don't know. So that's the last thing that they need to deal with is a contractor came in and didn't do a good job. The other thing I will tell you, Lisa, is we have a national relationship with Sherwin-Williams. So, and that was something that I think was exciting for me. So we're only using high quality paint, and we're actually coming in and we'll provide you, your clients, color palettes and make suggestions on what to do, what color to paint the walls, what color to paint the trim, what color to paint the house, and even the flooring. And then from a flooring side, we also work directly with Sherwin-Williams on their with their flooring division, and they have their own installers. This is all turnkey, and we're talking Mohawk carpet. We're talking with the very best.
Right.
And we can do, depending on the property, we can do a level 1, 2, or 3. So if it's $1 million home and it needs to have nice carpet,
look.
nice,
Right.
exactly. But if it's a couple $100,000 home, or $100,000 home, and you just need to get something in it, builder grade, to get it. No offense to builders, but if you just want to just get it sold, then we offer that as well. So we have different levels that we can quote as well.
Well, and that's good because we do have clients and
Sometimes they need
on
it
all
quick.
price points and all situations. I mean, sometimes their situations aren't great, and it's, again, I just love that it seems like something to really take the stress off of our sellers, and that makes you look good, and it makes us look good too.
I know we've talked about this, I think, before the podcast started, but we're going to be making a presentation at your office later this week.
Yes.
And you will see during that presentation, you'll see some before and after photos.
Yeah, I can't wait to
And
see
then
those.
You'll see in those photos, and if you could go to the website and see some of them right now, but with those, we actually attach pricing to those so that you can get an idea what it will cost for.
That's really a cool way to do that.
Because at the end of the day, we always say paint is cheap, and paint isn't real expensive. But the reality is when you go into a home and it's painted and it maybe it's cleared out and it's got new paint on it, it's got new flooring, and it's all the little things have been done.
Yes.
Maybe, and by the way, we'll even update light fixtures for you. And we're not talking super fancy. We're talking
just-
Home Depot,
Yep.
Lowe's, but we'll
Right.
go get them. We have our painters go in and we'll do some of that type of work as well. So light, I call it light handyman work, but we have a handyman person that we work directly with that we can do light handyman work. But at the end of the day, the goal is for a potential buyer to walk into that house and say, wow, there's certain things I maybe want to do. Maybe I want to update the kitchen down the road or the bathroom, but I don't have to do
But it's clean
anything.
and fresh right now.
Exactly. And that's the goal.
I tell the sellers, I'm like, the goal at the end of the day is we want the buyers to walk in your house and their
Feel
thought,
at home.
Yeah, it's their home. They can see it their home, and their thought process is the moving truck coming in the driveway. That's what they want. That's what you want to hear the conversation is okay, when do you think we'll need to close on this? When do I need to get a mover? And you have them, they've fallen in love with it. And, people think that and you said it earlier, and we even talked about it earlier too, is sometimes they'll go, well, we can do that when we move in. And I'll tell sellers that, the buyer can do it when they move in, but you're talking about, fixing this bathroom floor or a bedroom that they've got to do before they even bring any furniture in the house.
And it goes the difference between getting what you're asking for and having to negotiate.
Yes. Yeah.
I mean, you get what you pay for.
I'm smiling because we don't offer this service, just for the record. But although but we've had all these homes and over the years, and I love having an epoxy garage floor. I just think it just adds a little, especially in colder climates. It's nice. And I've only had an epoxy garage floor twice because we move in and you have all the stuff in the garage,
Yeah,
and you don't want to
you
take. You're
can't.
too lazy to take it out. So
No.
to your point, it's just like you want to. You know that there's certain things clients. I could do this. I could do this. But the reality is, the moving
Yeah.
truck shows up, all
You're
the
done.
furniture there, and you're like, okay,
You're-
do we really want to change the carpet?
Yeah.
type
Yeah.
You know,
deal.
yeah.
So
Or they get all the furniture on top of it and they go, oh, this looks pretty good, actually.
yeah.
Or they throw a rug on top of it. But, again, I'm going to go back to having someone. I mean, how many listing appointments do we go to?
They have like a big blanket thrown
And-
over all the boxes just to kind of
Yeah,
camouflage.
you know,
we know
and-
there's boxes under that
Yeah.
blanket. Come on.
We're going through and we're making this laundry list to be able to say, hey, if you don't know anyone, I would just recommend you give these people a call because they can kind of take care of
So when you
everything
say
for you.
landscaping
cleanup.
cleanup, what does that entail? I mean, what kind of
So,
landscaping stuff?
so it entails not mowing the yard per se, but a lot of homes have dead bushes,
Yeah.
overgrown shrubs. I was at a property the other day we were doing an estimate on, and she literally had 3 random 15-foot shrubs in the middle of her yard blocking the whole front of the house. And the realtor was like, can you do something about that?
I know.
It's like, I said, well, I think we need to take them out. She goes, well, she planted them. We can't take them out, but can you trim them? I'm like, yeah, we'll trim them.
Can we get
We'll
them
trim 'em.
down?
We'll trim them, all right.
Can we
So-
see the windows of their house?
Exactly, and that's the issue. And so what we try to do is we trim everything up. What we don't do is now we could coordinate this with you if it was that important, but we don't go in and do a ton of new planting. But we'll put pine straw down in the flower beds. We'll trim up the shrubs. If we need to add some grass in certain areas, we'll do that. But we'll edge it. We'll make sure everything looks good. But as far as if it's we're not a lawn service.
Yeah.
if
Gotcha.
you
Right.
know what I know. So what we will normally do if you guys call us and say, hey, we've got a client that we'd like you to go see, you'll kind of tell us what your concerns are. So we'll know walking into the appointment, we'll go with you or we can just go on our own. And we'll walk through the home with the homeowner and we'll get a feel for what somebody maybe what's important to them
Yes.
or not important to them, and try so we can kind of understand that, because again, our goal is to partner with you guys, with the real estate agent. And then once we get all that information, then we'll begin to make some suggestions and things. Well, this is what we're seeing in the market, and this is what we think might help your house sell faster. Because at the end of the day, that's the goal. The
Yep.
goal is for you to be able to list it. This is the conversation. You call me and you say, okay, I've got a listing. They are expecting $350 for the house.
Right.
The way it is with the comps, they're probably in the low 3s. But I feel like if we could update the house and make it look more presentable, we can get that price they want. And it will sell faster. And I think, and you guys know the market better than I do, but at the end of the day, if this market begins to tighten a little bit with the economy, homes will still sell back and forth,
Yes.
but there'll be a lot more competition, right?
Yes.
And so you want your home to stand out.
Yep.
And that's really what our service does. Our service helps homeowners make their homes sell faster for more money. And the other thing it does is it helps from a home inspection standpoint, is it kind of takes away some of those objections
Yes.
that a lot of homeowners may have with the inspection reports too. So it helps you, there's multiple negotiations on this, right? There's the price, and then when the inspection report comes back, there's
Right.
another negotiation, normally, at least there is with me. And at the end of the day, that helps you as well, because it's like, listen, your clients could move into this house tomorrow. It's ready to go, so let's work something out.
Yeah, no, I think it's great when
I'm literally thinking a
The
couple of
curb
clients
appeal.
I need to talk to right now.
Let me give you my card.
Yeah, let me give you your
Well,
card.
not only that, when you're getting the photography, the curb appeal. I mean,
Absolutely.
before you have the photographer come out and you have all this done, it's going to make a huge difference of who actually makes the appointment to come look at your house.
Right.
Yeah, I mean,
exactly.
that's the first. People don't realize that the outside of your house and in the yard when you take those pictures is the very first decision if they're even going to come look at your house.
Well, everybody, I mean, that's their first impression of your house
Right.
is the picture. So that's how you get them in.
Yeah.
So they
That's
need to be
exactly
the.
right.
And then it's the picture that you see the walls for the first time.
Yeah. It's
And
exactly.
the house matches the pictures because a lot of times you have these photographers who are magicians. And then somebody will come in and they'll be thinking, oh, this house is going to be great. And they get in there and it's.
They're not going to take pictures of the red bedroom.
Yeah.
I mean, we've been in some rooms.
Or and so when you go to our website, you'll actually see a home with there, and you'll be able to click on it and show a before and after with new carpet, with new colors, with new flooring, and things
wow.
like that.
That's great.
But to your point, how many times? You go to I know we've done it. We go to look at a house and we're expecting what we saw online and find out the walls are still maroon and the carpet's still green, type
Right.
deal. And that's not what it was online. So that becomes a disappointment and it becomes a question of, well, why, at this price point, this is what we were expecting.
Yeah.
Having said that, we don't really want to promote this per se, but the fact I'm saying it, I guess I am promoting it. But
You will in this segment.
Yeah, I will in this segment. But at the end of the day, there are certain things maybe the client decides not to do. Maybe they decide not to put new flooring in because they just can't move their furniture and they're still living in the property, or
Or their budget is super tight.
or their budget is super tight, which I can talk about here in a second. But at the end of the day, what's nice is this is a proposal that you have from us that then you can give and to the listing agent and say, or the buyer's agent and say, this is something that they've already quoted this. This is how much it costs for the new carpet. This
Right.
is how much it's going to cost for the new paint. So once the house is sold, once everything's done, then we can come in before they move in and actually do the work with the buyer from that perspective.
Oh,
so
that's
there's,
good.
Yeah.
it becomes another tool in the toolbox to
Right.
help you guys get that house sold.
Right. That's
So-
good for the ones that you can work out that strategy
Yeah.
of, okay, we're closing, but you have 3 days.
Mm-hmm.
So,
That's exactly right.
so the schedules on that side sometimes are a little tighter just because of the move and the closing dates. But then you have those two that are able to purchase their next house without having to do theirs right then. So they have time to stay in their house and have somebody come in and do those things. I'm sitting here thinking of a client right now that she would have loved it if we would have had that situation.
Yeah, just, I mean, how many times, I know my wife and I have done this, where it was like, okay, well, we buy the house, they accept the contract, we're out of state. Do you have anybody that does carpet and paint?
Yeah.
Well, if you had somebody, if now you have Homestretch that can literally, you can say,
Yes.
we already have a quote, this is what it costs. They use Sherwin-Williams, and they'll come in with their own people and do all this work, and it can be done before you guys arrive.
Wow.
So that's definitely a selling point.
Yeah.
And-
I'm all about one-stop shop.
yeah,
Right.
me too. And as far as financing, we actually have a national company that we work with called WiseTac.
Okay.
And it's on the website as well, but and we'll talk about this on Thursday, but it's an ability to give your clients, so let's say it's a $10,000 or $15,000 or whatever it is to do
Right.
all this work, and they just can't afford it right now because they're moving,
Right.
they're trying to buy their own house. WiseTac offers a service where they can literally get a loan, and it's a very quick approval. Just with as long as you have a pretty good credit score, you can get an approval pretty quickly, and it gives them the ability to extend out and not pay for that right away. And then when the house sells,
They can
then
turn
they
around
can
and
just pay it off, and it's literally, I think it's 0% for the first 90 days. So
Oh.
it's a very, very
That
good
is very
That's great.
good.
service.
Yeah.
And it's just an easy way for somebody to say, hey, if you paint and do all these things to the house, I think I can get you 40 or 50,000 more, but it's going
Right.
to cost them 10 or
Yes.
15,000,
Right.
and they're like, I just can't afford it. It just gives you another option to say, well, listen, here's an idea if you'd like to do this.
Right.
And
it's
that's a
all
great thing,
through
like
them.
in Shelby County, because all of our houses, their values are going up. So some of these people have been in their homes for
Absolutely.
a
For
while.
a long time.
They don't
Great.
have that kind of extra cash just sitting there.
Great point.
Except for the equity in
In
their
their
home.
house.
So they want to get these things done. They want to get top dollar, but they don't have the money to invest in it. That's a perfect way for them to get all things.
And it's
Get it
not the
taken
time
care
to
of.
do a cash out refi, is it?
Exactly.
No, yeah,
No,
So.
it's not. But your point to that is, no, it's not time to do. If you're in a home that you have strong equity right now, you should, I call it, take your money and run. Because most sellers in that situation, anyways, all their kids are grown and gone, and then they're in this big house by themselves, and it would be great for them to downsize. And in some cases, they end up paying cash for the next house and still having a nest egg to do that. But they do usually need a little bit of paint and stuff.
And that's a great way of getting that done and not having
You
to
want a
dip into
house
your
to look like
savings.
it's been lived in, but you don't want to sell a house that looks like it's been lived in.
Yeah.
That you're
That's
exactly
perfect.
right. I mean, I'm
perfect
gonna
right there.
I'm gonna
We're
write
gonna-
that down.
We all need.
But-
I need to write it
Yeah.
down.
But that's exactly right. And we do all types of homes too. That's the other deal. It can be $1 million home and it can still need work. We all know
Yeah.
that.
Yes.
And sometimes those need more work than,
Yes.
than the ones that are significantly less. So that's the beauty of what we do.
So you mentioned one thing, and our time's probably running out here, but you mentioned kind of one thing in the beginning that made my ears perk up a little bit, was on moving their stuff out. So, and you use the example of someone going to assisted living or whatever. So do you take what they want to take with them to the assisted living and take off the rest of it?
No.
Or you just take it all away?
No, what we will do is we'll do a couple things. So once they have moved out their personal stuff,
Okay.
if there's stuff
Yep.
that's left over, we actually will work with a local. We'll bring in our own people, and we've got a relationship here locally with a company, and we'll go in and we'll literally take everything out. Hopefully there's not too many grand pianos in the basement type deal, but we've had a couple of those situations where how did the sofa get through this door?
Yeah.
Like that deal.
They
But-
built the house
yeah.
around it.
Yeah, but what we do is if there's things that could be donated to shelters, we'll do
Oh,
that. We'll
good.
set it aside and we'll donate it. But then anything else, we'll bring a dumpster in or
Right.
a truck, and we'll
Okay.
load it up. We'll clear it out, take it to the local landfill.
That's kind of what we're used to, except the one part I do like what you said is if something can be donated.
Absolutely.
You guys do send it there,
Yeah.
because I think sometimes that doesn't quite happen. and
Right.
We could be doing a good thing here.
Absolutely.
So Kent, we are excited to talk to you today, and I know I absolutely love this, and I think some of our clients are going to love
Definitely
it as
gonna
well.
love it, yes.
And as you mentioned earlier, we will see you Thursday in the office.
Awesome. Thank you guys
Thank
so much for your
you.
time. I appreciate you having me on.
Absolutely.
thanks.
Take
Great.
care.
Thanks for listening. Please remember to subscribe to our podcast on your favorite podcast platform or subscribe to our YouTube channel, Your Neighbor, Your Agents. To contact Alicia, Deidre, or Lisa, please visit www.yourneighboryouragents.com.